Life is complicated, only if you let it be. Think about it. We chase more. We accumulate more. We plan for more. And in the process, we forget what matters. We lose clarity. We lose peace. But simplicity is powerful. Simplicity brings focus. Simplicity brings freedom. Simplicity brings results. Today, I want to show you how to make your life completely simple. Not by giving up, not by doing less, but by doing the right things, consistently, intentionally, quietly. Because the simpler your life, the more energy you have to pursue your goals, the more clarity you have to make decisions, the more peace you have to enjoy the journey. And remember, success is predictable. It's not luck and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. Simplicity is the framework where that discipline thrives. So listen closely. This could change the way you live forever. Life is already complicated, but the real battle isn't out there. The real battle is in here, inside your mind. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't tend it, weeds grow. If you let weeds grow, they choke the flowers. That's how clutter works. That's how confusion sneaks in. Most people carry too much in their minds. Old regrets, worries about the future, endless comparisons with others. It's like trying to walk while dragging a heavy bag of rocks. You can't move fast. You can't move free. And you certainly can't move far. But here's the truth. You don't need more. You need less. Not less ambition, not less drive, but less clutter, less noise. Simplifying your mind is about creating space for clarity. It's about removing the junk that steals your peace. It's about deciding what matters and letting go of the rest. I remember when I was younger, I thought success meant filling my head with everything. Every opinion, every distraction, every worry. I thought the more I carried, the smarter I would become. But I was wrong. All it did was make me tired, exhausted, confused. Then I learned something powerful. Your mind is not meant to be a storage room. Your mind is meant to be a workshop. And a workshop only works when it's organized. Imagine walking into a workshop where tools are scattered everywhere. You can't find the hammer. You can't find the nails. Everything is in chaos. That's how most people live inside their heads. Now imagine walking into a clean, well-arranged workshop. Every tool has its place. You know where everything is. When it's time to build, you can get to work without delay. That's the power of a simplified mind. How do you simplify your mind? Let me give you 3 practices. First, empty out the past. The past is heavy if you carry it wrong. Mistakes, failures, embarrassments, they weigh you down. But the past should be a school, not a prison. Learn the lesson, and then let the memory rest. Don't keep replaying yesterday's failures. You can't drive forward by staring in the rearview mirror. Simplify your mind by releasing what's already done. Second, limit what enters. Not everything deserves space in your mind. Not every opinion. Not every criticism. Not every headline. Guard your mind like you'd guard a treasure, because that's what it is. If you let every voice in, you lose your own. Simplify by being selective. Choose carefully what you read, what you listen to, and who you spend time with. Third, focus on what matters most. Don't waste mental energy on the trivial. Ask yourself daily, will this matter in 5 years? Or even 5 months? Most of the time, the answer is no, so let it go. Direct your energy toward your vision, your goals, your values. Simplify your mind by aiming at the essential. When you simplify your mind, something happens. You gain peace. You gain focus. You gain strength. Think about it. An archer cannot hit the target if he's aiming at 10 at once. He chooses one. He draws back the bow. He releases. That's how you live with clarity. Too many people are busy but not effective. They think activity is progress. But noise is not achievement. Busyness is not productivity. Simplify, and you'll start to notice what truly moves the needle. And here's the reward. A simplified mind is a powerful mind. When your thoughts are clear, your decisions are sharper. When your decisions are sharper, your actions are stronger. And when your actions are stronger, your results are greater. This is not about doing less with your life. It's about doing more with your focus. Because clarity multiplies effort. It's like light. Diffuse light warms the room. Focused light cuts through steel. Simplify your mind, and you become that focused light. So ask yourself today, what's weighing me down? What thoughts, regrets, or distractions do I need to release? What noise can I turn off so I can hear my own voice again? Remember, life gets better not by adding more, but by subtracting the unnecessary. Your mind is a precious tool. Keep it sharp. Keep it clear. Keep it simple. Because when your mind is simple, your path becomes clear. And when your path is clear, your future opens wide. That's the power of simplifying your mind. Life gets heavy when you carry too much. Not just in your mind, but in your daily life. Clutter steals more than space. It steals your energy. It steals your time. It steals your clarity. And most people don't even notice. They live surrounded by noise, by piles, by endless distractions. They wonder why they feel tired before the day even begins. Let me tell you, you cannot live your best life in the middle of chaos. Your outer world is often a reflection of your inner world. And if you want to change your life, you start by decluttering. I remember walking into my office years ago. Stacks of papers everywhere, books piled high, notes scattered across the desk. And I told myself, I'm working hard. But the truth? I was just drowning in disorder. The clutter was costing me. Every time I searched for something, I wasted minutes. Every time I sat down to think, my mind was pulled in 10 different directions. One day, I decided to clear it out. Not later. Not someday. That day, I made piles. Keep. Throw away. Give away. And little by little, the room breathed again. Something remarkable happened. My mind felt lighter. Ideas flowed faster. I sat at my desk, and I could finally focus. That's when I realized decluttering is not about cleaning. It's about creating space for growth. Decluttering your life comes in many forms. First, declutter your environment. Look around. What surrounds you every day? Is it inspiring or draining? A messy room, a cluttered desk, a chaotic closet, these things send silent messages to your brain. They whisper, you're not in control. You're overwhelmed. But a clean, simple environment whispers something else. You're ready. You're focused. You're capable. So start with one drawer, one shelf, one room. Clear it out. Keep only what serves you. Let the rest go. Second, declutter your schedule. Many people are not busy because they're productive. They're busy because they filled their days with too much. Meetings that don't matter. Tasks that don't move them forward. Habits that eat away at precious hours. Busyness is not success. Activity is not achievement. Ask yourself, what on my schedule truly matters? What could I eliminate, delegate, or postpone? You don't need to do everything. You need to do the right things. Simplify your calendar, and you'll find time for what truly counts: growth, relationships, health, and dreams. Third, declutter your commitments. Say yes too often, and you drown. Every yes is a promise. And too many promises break your energy. Learn the power of no. Not harshly, not rudely, but firmly. A clear no to the unimportant is a loud yes to your future. If it doesn't align with your values, your vision, or your growth, let it go. Fourth, declutter your digital world. Your phone, your inbox, your social media, they're full of noise, endless notifications, endless scrolling, endless comparisons. Here's the truth. You don't need constant connection. You need consistent direction. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Unsubscribe. Delete. Limit. Silence the noise so you can hear your own thoughts again. When you declutter your life, you gain something priceless. Freedom. Freedom to think. Freedom to create. Freedom to live with intention. It's not about living with nothing. It's about living with what matters most. A closet full of clothes you never wear adds no value. A calendar full of distractions adds no progress. A mind full of noise adds no wisdom. Decluttering isn't about less for the sake of less. It's about less for the sake of more. More clarity, more peace, more energy for the things that truly matter. Think of a sculptor. He doesn't add clay to find the masterpiece. He removes what doesn't belong, chip by chip, piece by piece, until beauty is revealed. That's what decluttering does for your life. It removes the unnecessary, so the essential can shine. So ask yourself, where is clutter stealing from me? In my home? In my habits? In my time? In my relationships? Be honest. Then be bold. Begin the process of letting go. Because when you declutter your life, you don't just clear space. You clear the path. And a clear path leads to a better future. That's the power of living simply. That's the gift of decluttering. Life is too short to be tangled in complicated relationships. Too short to be drained by people who don't add value. Too short to carry the weight of negativity, drama, and confusion. Relationships shape your future. The wrong ones hold you down. The right ones lift you higher. So if you want a simple life, a powerful life, you must simplify your relationships. I remember someone once asked me, "Jim, how do I know who belongs in my life?" I said, "Look at the effect they have on you. Some people leave you inspired. Some leave you exhausted. Some challenge you to grow. Others pull you back into old patterns. Life gives you clues. Pay attention." Here's the first truth. Not everyone is meant to stay. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But the mistake we make is trying to turn every reason into a lifetime. We hold on longer than we should. We try to please everyone. We try to fix everyone, but in the process we lose ourselves. Simplifying your relationships begins with acceptance. Accept who belongs, and accept who doesn't. Let go with grace, but let go. Second, choose quality over quantity. It's not about how many friends you have. It's about how deep the connection runs. You don't need 50 people around your table. You need a few you can trust. A few who challenge you. A few who encourage you when the road gets hard. I'd rather walk with 3 people headed in the right direction than march with a crowd going nowhere. Third, set boundaries. Boundaries protect your time, your energy, your peace. Without boundaries, you'll be pulled in 1,000 directions. Everyone will want a piece of you, and you'll have nothing left for yourself. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors. You decide who comes in. You decide how far. You decide how long. Boundaries are not selfish. They're necessary, because if you don't protect your energy, who will? Fourth, seek relationships that help you grow. Growth is the test of true connection. If they celebrate your growth, they belong. If they resent your growth, they don't. Have you noticed? When you start improving, some people get uncomfortable. They liked you better when you were ordinary. But your journey exposes their stagnation. Don't shrink to make them comfortable. Simplify. Step forward. Surround yourself with those who clap when you rise. Fifth, simplify by giving more love, not less. Now, don't misunderstand me. Simplifying relationships isn't just about cutting people off. It's also about deepening the right ones. Be present. Be generous with your encouragement. Be intentional with your time. Love is simple. It's people who complicate it. A kind word, a phone call, a note of appreciation. These little gestures strengthen bonds more than grand displays. Simplify by making relationships about what truly matters. Care, trust, respect, and love. Let me share this. I once knew a man who kept everyone at arm's length. He said, "I don't need anyone." But the truth was, he feared being vulnerable. And his life was complicated because he carried loneliness and silence. You see, simplifying isn't about isolation. It's about connection that matters. It's about trimming away the noise so you can hear the music of real relationships. So here's the question. Who belongs in your circle? Who inspires you? Who challenges you to be better? Who drains you, distracts you, or disrespects your dreams? Simplifying requires courage. Courage to let go. Courage to say no. Courage to walk away from the familiar if it no longer serves your future. But it also requires gratitude. Gratitude for those who stand beside you. Gratitude for the rare ones who walk with you through storms. Gratitude for the handful who remind you of who you are and who you can become. Remember this, life is not about pleasing everyone. Life is about building a circle that fuels your spirit. If you want a simple life, start here. Simplify your relationships. Let go of the wrong ones. Deepen the right ones. Protect your energy, and never forget the quality of your life is often measured by the quality of your relationships. Because success without connection feels empty. But success shared with the right people feels complete. That's the power of simplifying your relationships. That's the path to peace, strength, and clarity. Work can be heavy. Goals can be overwhelming. And many people complicate both. They chase too many things at once. They spread themselves too thin. They confuse busyness with progress. But here's the truth. The secret to progress is simplicity. Simplify your work. Simplify your goals. And you'll start to see real results. I remember someone telling me, "Jim, I've got 20 goals this year." I smiled and said, "You don't need 20. You need 1 or 2. And you need them clear, simple, and written down. Because goals are not wishes. They're not dreams floating in the air. Goals are specific. Goals are focused. Goals are simple. Here's the first lesson. Do less, but do it better. Most people do too much, and in the process, they do nothing well. Don't be scattered. Be focused. Don't dabble in 10 directions. Move powerfully in one. Think of a magnifying glass. Scatter the light, and nothing happens. But focus the light, and it burns. Your energy works the same way. Focus it, and you create power. Scatter it, and you lose momentum. Second, write it down. A goal not written is a wish. A wish fades. A goal written becomes a commitment. Clarity comes when you put pen to paper. Your mind says, "This is real. This is mine." I've asked thousands of people over the years, "Where's your list of goals?" And most of them say, "It's in my head." But your head is a terrible filing cabinet. Simplify your goals. Put them on paper. Make them visible. Make them simple. And then take the first step. Third, break it down. Big goals overwhelm, but broken into pieces, they become possible. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You climb it step by step. You don't write a book in one night. You write it 1 page at a time. And here's the beauty. When you simplify, each small step gives you momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence fuels consistency. And consistency creates success. Fourth, eliminate distractions. Most people fail not because of lack of talent, but because of too much distraction. They chase every opportunity. They say yes to everything, and they end up tired, frustrated, and stuck. Simplifying your work means saying no. Saying no to what doesn't matter. Saying no to what doesn't align with your goals. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something important. Guard your time. Guard your energy. Guard your goals. Fifth, make your work meaningful. Work without meaning becomes a burden. Work with meaning becomes a joy. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What does this lead to? What is the purpose behind the task? Simplifying your work isn't just about doing less. It's about doing what matters. Doing what aligns with your values. Doing what brings you closer to your vision. Sixth, consistency over intensity. Don't try to do everything in one burst of energy. Don't burn out in a week. Simplify your work into daily habits. Small steps, repeated consistently. Little disciplines practiced every day. That's what builds extraordinary results. Not luck, not magic, but simple, consistent action. I once heard a story of a young man chasing success. He was busy all day, every day, running from one project to another, but years passed and he had little to show. Then one day, his mentor said, "Stop scattering your energy. Pick one thing, focus, simplify, and give it everything." He listened. He narrowed his focus. He built momentum. And soon, success followed. That's the power of simplifying your goals. Seventh, celebrate progress. not perfection. Too many quit because they want everything perfect. But progress is better than perfection. Did you take a step today? Celebrate it. Did you learn something today? Celebrate it. Did you move 1 inch closer to your goal? Celebrate it. Simplify your perspective. Don't demand perfection. Demand progress. And over time, progress becomes mastery. So let me ask you, what are your goals? Are they clear? Are they simple? Or are they scattered, complicated, and overwhelming? And how about your work? Are you working with focus? Or are you busy without progress? Remember this, the greatest lives are not built on complexity. They're built on clarity. Clarity of goals. Clarity of work. Clarity of purpose. Simplify. Do less, but do it better. Write it down. Break it down. Eliminate distractions. Stay consistent. And celebrate progress. Because in the end, success is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. And doing it well. That's the power of simplifying your work and goals. Life is meant to be lived with joy, with clarity, with freedom. But for most people, life feels heavy. Too many obligations, too much clutter, too much noise. They confuse complexity with success. But listen carefully. Complexity drains you. Simplicity frees you. If you want true freedom, you must simplify your lifestyle. What does freedom mean? Freedom doesn't mean you do nothing. Freedom doesn't mean no responsibilities. Freedom means you control your life, your choices, your time, your energy. And the path to that freedom is simplicity. Not more, not bigger, not faster, but clearer, cleaner, simpler. Step 1, declutter what you own. So many people live trapped, not by walls, not by chains, but by their possessions. Too many things, too many gadgets, too much stuff. The car that drains your finances, the house full of items you don't use, the clothes you never wear. All of it weighs you down. All of it demands your attention. But simplicity says, keep what adds value. Remove what doesn't. Because freedom doesn't come from owning everything. Freedom comes from owning what matters. Step 2, simplify your time. Time is life's most precious currency, yet so many waste it on distractions, on obligations that bring no joy, on meaningless activities. Let me ask you, where is your time going? Who is taking it? What is consuming it? Simplify your schedule. Say yes only to what matters. Say no to what steals your energy. Because every time you say yes to the wrong thing, you're saying no to the right thing. True freedom is not found in a busy calendar. It's found in an intentional one. Step 3, simplify your commitments. Some people try to please everyone. They say yes to everything. And in the process, they lose themselves. But here's the truth. You can't be everywhere. You can't do everything. You can't satisfy everyone. Simplicity requires courage. The courage to say no. The courage to let go. The courage to focus on your priorities. When you commit to less, you actually give more. Because you're not stretched thin. You're not exhausted. You're not resentful. Instead, you show up fully, present, focused, joyful. That's the beauty of simplifying commitments. Step 4, simplify your finances. Money is a tool. It's not the master. It's not the goal. It's the servant. But too many complicate money. They chase bigger paychecks. They buy things they don't need. They spend what they don't have. And slowly, money becomes the chain that ties them down. But simplicity in finances brings freedom. Spend less than you earn. Avoid unnecessary debt. Save for the future. Invest in your growth. Live within your means. Because a simple lifestyle financially creates peace emotionally. Freedom doesn't come from extravagance. It comes from discipline, from living below your means, from knowing you control your money instead of your money controlling you. Step 5, simplify your health. True freedom requires energy. Without health, success feels empty. Without strength, freedom feels far away. But here's the good news. Health doesn't require complexity. You don't need 100 rules. You don't need the latest fad. You need the basics. Eat clean food. Move your body daily. Sleep well. Drink water. Simple habits. Practice consistently. They create lasting health. Don't complicate it. Keep it simple, and your body will thank you. Step 6. Simplify your relationships. Relationships can lift you, or they can drain you. Some people surround themselves with constant drama, endless negativity, toxic energy, and they wonder why they feel heavy. Simplicity in relationships means this: choose wisely. Stay close to those who inspire you. Limit time with those who pull you down. You don't need hundreds of friends. You don't need everyone's approval. You need a few good people. People who lift you higher. People who believe in your vision. People who add peace, not chaos. That's the kind of relationship that makes freedom possible. Step 7. Live by your values. At the heart of simplicity is alignment. Living according to your values. Living according to what matters most. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What are my priorities? What do I want my life to mean? When your actions match your values, life becomes simple. Decisions become clear. Energy flows in the right direction. Simplicity is not about less. It's about alignment. It's about focus. It's about living true to yourself. So what happens when you simplify? What does life look like? You own less but enjoy more. You do less but accomplish more. You commit to less but experience more fulfillment. You wake up lighter. You move with clarity. You live with peace. That's true freedom. Not running endlessly, not chasing endlessly, but living with intention. And here's the paradox. When you simplify your lifestyle, you actually expand your life. More energy, more peace, more joy, more freedom. So let me challenge you today. Look at your life. What can you remove? What can you simplify? What can you let go? A possession you don't need, a task that drains you, a commitment that doesn't serve you, a habit that complicates your life. Start small, but start today, because simplicity is not an event. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice you make every day. Remember this: success doesn't come from doing more. Happiness doesn't come from owning more. Freedom doesn't come from chasing more. Success, happiness, freedom, they all come from simplicity. Simplicity of mind, simplicity of work, simplicity of lifestyle. So build your life simple, and you'll find it's not empty. It's full of meaning, full of purpose, full of freedom. Because when you make your life completely simple, you finally make room for what truly matters. My friend, we have walked a long journey together. From understanding the noise of life to learning the art of clarity. From simplifying your thoughts to simplifying your work. And finally, to simplifying your lifestyle for true freedom. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is life. Because the truth is simple. When you simplify, you free yourself. When you simplify, you create space. Space for joy. Space for peace. Space for growth. Think about it. Simplicity of mind gives you focus. Simplicity of work gives you results. Simplicity of lifestyle gives you freedom. That's the formula. That's the key. Not chasing more, not adding more, but subtracting what doesn't matter so you can multiply what does. Life doesn't have to be complicated. Success doesn't have to be overwhelming. Happiness doesn't have to be expensive. All it takes is clarity. All it takes is discipline. All it takes is the courage to choose less noise, less clutter, less distraction. And in return, you gain more peace, more purpose, more freedom. That's the gift of a simple life. So I leave you with this challenge. Examine your life, not tomorrow, not someday. Today, ask yourself, what is weighing me down? What is stealing my peace? What is holding me back? And then let it go. Cut it out. Simplify. Because the future belongs to the clear, the strong, the free, and you. Yes, you. have the power to design that future. Remember this truth. Life is short. Time is precious. And freedom is worth fighting for. Don't complicate it. Don't overthink it. Don't wait. Choose simplicity. Live simplicity, and you'll discover you already have everything you need to live the life you've always wanted. Because the secret to true success is not more, it's less, but better.